The first severe weather threat of the season in Iowa is coming on Friday, and I will guide you through it and let you know all of the hazards and the scenarios that we expect to see. So this is the latest map from the Storm Prediction Center. In red, we have a level 4, what we call a moderate risk for severe weather. That includes the Quad Cities, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Dubuque, down to Burlington, and it also includes a small portion of Ottumwa and areas just east of Grinnell and Tama. That is where we will have the highest risk for severe weather. In orange, we have a level 3 threat, and that includes the east side of Metro Des Moines, everybody along and east of I-35. And so the farther west we go, the lower the threat will be. That's not to say that western Iowa won't have any storms at all, but the area highlighted by a level 1 and a level 2 risk is where the storms will begin, but by the time they really strengthen, they will be in the eastern part of the state. Now, the greatest risk that we will see on Friday with storms is likely going to be damaging wind gusts. They could be in a few storms in excess of 70 miles per hour. Where you see the pinkish purple and the red is where the wind threat will be greatest. It coincides with the level 3 and the level 4 threats. And I do want to let you know, all these black lines, we refer to those as a hatched area from the Storm Prediction Center. It really is just another way of emphasizing the threat there. And we also will have a risk for tornadoes tomorrow. It is a medium level threat for areas along and east of I-35. I do think at this point, based on the data that I've looked at, the greatest risk for a tornado would be east and northeast of Des Moines, and this is really going to be dependent on the speed of the surface low, how moist our air gets, how high the dew points climb, and also the wind direction at the surface of the ground. All of those things will come together to really determine if tornadoes will actually develop or not. So to recap all of this, on Friday we have that level 3 risk for storms. It is mainly in the afternoon, especially east of I-35. There also could be some hail, but at this point that's a bit of a lower threat. So let's talk about some of the ingredients for this severe weather. And the first will be dew points. It'll be moisture. So remember, the higher the dew point, the more humid the air is. The lower the dew point, the drier the air is. And we don't really talk about dew points much at this time of year. Actually, I haven't talked about them since last summer, but the air is about to get a lot more humid. It's pretty dry as of Thursday morning, but as soon as the warm front lifts in this afternoon, dew points will climb to the 40s and even low 50s. That is still not quite high enough for severe weather. However, they will continue to climb overnight and into Friday morning. Notice how the dew points by about 9 or 10 a.m. on Friday could be in the 60 to 62 degree range. For late March, early April, those are sufficient dew points to produce severe weather, which means for this time of year, the air will feel somewhat muggy and it will be good for storm development. Once we get into the late afternoon hours, a cold front will slide across the state. The air behind it will be very dry and our dew point readings will fall into the teens and 20s. So the air really becomes dry fast. As soon as that front passes any one particular area, the risk for severe weather will essentially go away. Today is when we really flip the script, flip the story, and we warm up a lot. In Des Moines, we climbed to 67 today. There will be some upper 40s and 50s to the north, and then we could even touch 70 in southeast Iowa and southwest Iowa today. Tomorrow will be even warmer, with highs in the low to mid 70s over central and southeastern Iowa. Of course, we have that cold front that'll be coming in later in the day, which is why the western and northwestern areas will not warm nearly as much on Friday. Also why that area will not have as great of a risk for severe weather. Outside of the storms, it is also going to be very windy. This is a powerful low pressure system. Throughout the day today, I expect gusts to near 35, maybe even close to 40 miles per hour, especially over southern Iowa in the afternoon. It becomes even windier overnight, the gusts ranging from 40 to even near 50 miles per hour. It'll be a little bit tamer in northern Iowa, and then tomorrow will be windier than today. I actually think there will be a wind advisory issued tomorrow. We also will have high fire danger, which means if you've got plans to do outdoor burning, you need to scrap those and postpone that until the wind settles down. Gusts will be 35 to 40 miles per hour tomorrow. And then did you see how high they spike as soon as those storms likely arrive? 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. This model is putting out a gust near 70 miles per hour over Cedar Rapids. I'm not saying that will happen, but that could be a gust that happens in a single storm, which is why damaging wind is our primary concern on Friday. It will turn very windy behind that cold front as well. We are going to have wind gusts well into the 40s, maybe even 50s behind that, and some gusts could near 60 miles per hour even outside of the storms. So let's go through the timing here with Futurecast. I do expect a bit of rain to develop later today in northern Iowa ahead of the warm front. Tonight, there will be a chance for isolated showers and a few thunderstorms, especially over northern Iowa. One or two of those may produce small hail, but tonight the severe weather threat is still pretty low. Now tomorrow, this is when we watch for a pseudo line to develop, meaning it's not going to be a complete perfect line of storms initially. I think storm development happens between noon and 2 p.m. west of I-35. I'm really watching the Highway 169 corridor or just west of that for storm beginnings. Then as they push east and form more into a line, they will strengthen. So by 2 to 4 p.m., I expect that line to be here in Des Moines along I-35, including Ames and through northern and southern Iowa. It could extend all the way north to south across the state. And notice how they continue. The cells do to strengthen late in the afternoon. By 4 o'clock, they are moving into areas east of I-35, and then they actually shift into the eastern part of the state by 5 to 6 p.m. And I think by that time, the severe weather threat in our immediate region will be over. It'll just be very windy, and there may be some lingering rain. Now, later tomorrow night, this may get lost in the shuffle. We will have a chance for some snow coming in on the backside of this. It will be blowing around overnight and before sunrise on Saturday. We could see an inch or an inch and a half of snow north of US Highway 20, maybe a dusting in grassy areas over central Iowa, but it will be blowing around so much that accumulation will be tough to come by. So for storms, I do want to give you a general timeline for the middle part of the state and central Iowa after 12 p.m., likely 12 to about 4 or 5 p.m. It probably won't hit eastern Iowa until after 3 or 4 p.m. Of course, these times are approximate and it may be, give or take an hour. As far as rainfall totals go, we may get 1/4 to 3/10 of an inch of rain over central Iowa. Higher totals are going to be farther east, but tomorrow is not going to be a big rainmaker because these storms will be moving so quick. Speeds will be 50 plus miles per hour for the storm movement themselves. And then when it comes to the snow, look at what Futurecast is putting out through sunrise on Saturday, up to a dusting, again in grassy areas, 1 to maybe close to 2 inches in northern Iowa. Blowing snow will be a threat for travelers who are out late at night or even overnight. So that is a ton of information for you. This is our 10-day forecast sponsored by Holt Plumbing and Heating. Wind chill readings on Saturday morning will be in the teens. We climb to 50 on Saturday afternoon. Sunday is back up to 70 and it will be breezy. And then I want you to pay attention to Tuesday. There will be another chance for storms and possibly another chance for strong storms.